This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com with a quick daily wrestling news update for you because at 8 p.m. I am interviewing Brandon the Bone Crusher Calton, who is fighting Jake Hagar next week at Bellator 250. So we're going to get some details about that fight coming up in 15 minutes. NXT and AEW were both down in viewership this week. NXT only had 644,000 viewers, 0.16 rating. AEW beat them by a little over 100,000 viewers, 753,000 viewers, and a 0.3 rating. I heard a lot of negative feedback about the AEW show. I'm not going to watch it, but I guess MJF and Chris Jericho did a musical. And surprise, surprise, just another goofy, stupid thing that AEW is known for. I don't know. Wrestling is just bad. Once we're allowed to run events here again, I will be running Great North Wrestling events, focusing more on the women's side of wrestling. But I'm going to stay away from the goofy shit that's ruined wrestling, for sure. I'll read a few of your comments. CPA making fun of the ratings. Hurricane Maverick checking in. Mint says MJF doing comedy is sad. There's way too much comedy in wrestling, as Jeeves says pro wrestling sucks. Fred S says AEW is awful. Big Trip says AEW is embarrassing. I agree. I'm embarrassed about today's wrestling. Neo GX saw the singing skit as we just clipped out for a moment. Kevin Wine says AEW is extra goofy. Jericho starting to look like Chris Farley. MJF is a dork. Chris likes my hoodie. Go to thehannibaltv.com. Click on our merchandise link. It's also in the description. Book Ultimo Dragon versus Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle in February is supposed to do a shoot interview with me. I actually had some communication with him yesterday. John says funny doesn't draw money. That is very true. Jericho killed off his character with the stupid comedy. Anthony, I like wearing hoodies, and it's fucking cold here in Canada. I don't know where you live, but it is cold, and it's cheaper to wear a hoodie inside than to have your heat blasting. So, fuck you. I find it very comfortable. It's actually very comfortable and very warm, and I work out in it too. I've got a couple of them. There's actually 3 designs of the Hannibal hoodies, including a Hannibal 420. So, Mint Dodgy has a good point, or Mint Diggity. AEW made fun of WWE for being entertainment. What do? They go more the comedy. Remember when AEW said they were going to be back to the, quote, old school wrestling and be about wins and losses and all that? As PW909 says, they haven't lived up to anything they said at the beginning of the company. I agree. Neo GX says the ratings show wrestling is really not a priority. And speaking of how little people care about AEW, a fan pointed this out to me. Jack Swagger or Jake Hagar is fighting Brandon Calton on the prelims of this Bellator show. And Swagger's one of the big stars of AEW. So anyways, I don't want to turn this into an AEW bashing thing. I know you guys saw it. Ivan Santos says Fidel Sierra, the Cuban assassin, tested positive for COVID. Sorry to hear that. There is a few interviews with Fidel on this channel, by the way. CPA doesn't like Tony Khan's booking. Well, it's not just Tony Khan. It's Cody Rhodes, who, of course, is a champion. Just like Nick Aldis is the NWA champion, is also a booker there. The Young Bucks are bookers. Kenny Omega is a booker. So John says Cody bitched about Triple H pushing himself. What a hypocrite. Yep. Huge hypocrite for sure. You all know on here, I think Cody Rhodes is a coward for chickening out on fighting me. He only dropped the title for a short period of time to avoid having to fight me because Terry Funk, Kevin Sullivan, Conan, Bushwhacker Luke, Billy Graham, all vouched for me to fight Cody, but he didn't want to fight me. Anthony said the musical was laughable. I'm not going to watch it. Fred says, let's put Dr. Luther in another main event. Speaking of Conan said Dr. Luther should never be off dark until he improves. Doesn't matter how long he's been in the business. Victor asking me Khabib or Justin Gaethje, which I always have a hard time pronouncing. I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. I hope Justin wins, to be honest. I like Justin better than Khabib. Sorry to Xania or Ksania, the Russian goddess, who's probably going for Khabib. But I'm going to get going because I have that interview at 8. So come back here at 8 if you want to talk to the guy that's fighting Jack Swagger next week at Bellator 250, Brandon Carlton.